Something seems very fishy with the Bears quarterback situation, and I'm here to get to the bottom of it. What is going on, y'all? Faiz Sports Talk back at it with another video talking, of course, some NFL and talking about the Chicago Bears. So if you're a Bears fan, make sure you go ahead and subscribe to the channel by hitting the big red subscribe button down below and following me on my social media, my Twitter, my Instagram, links for all of those on the screen as well as in the description as always. So as you guys can tell by the title, I have a question for you guys, and that is Nick Foles a lock to be the Bears starting quarterback? And here's the thing. This question is obviously being asked for a reason, because there are things that I'm noticing that have led me to believe that something is actually up with the Bears quarterback situation, and let's talk about it. So, do you guys all remember when the Nick Foles trade happened and everybody just started bashing the Bears, kind of just saying you gave up way too much in compensation? And I did mention, it did feel like a little bit too much, but I certainly didn't hate it at all and didn't bash it to the extent as some other people did. Well, it turns out that the money the Bears people thought owed Nick Foles is not even close to what is actually owed. Remember, people forget, Nick Foles restructured his contract when the trade happened. And now we find out the details. And I've got those right in front of me here. Ian Rappaport tweeted about this. But basically, Nick Foles restructured his deal, and these are the details of the new contract. Instead of 3 years and $57 million like a lot of people thought, Nick Foles is actually getting paid $24 million over 3 years, with $21 million at least guaranteed. So what does that come out to? $8 million per year. Folks, I was fine almost paying that amount for Case Keenum, who I wanted in free agency. $8 million a year for a potential starting quarterback is a bargain in this league. An absolute bargain. Okay? So that's first and foremost. Number two, the contract has $6 million in incentives. Okay? So he can earn up to an additional $6 million in incentives if, he hits certain goals. I'm sure it's like passing yardage, touchdowns, maybe Pro Bowl, accolades, stuff like that, obviously. An interesting wrinkle here, he can also void the contract in 2021 and 2022, and every dollar earned of incentive escalates next year's salary. So what do these two things mean, and why are they in the contract? Well, obviously the first one, he can void the contract. Why? Because here's the thing. If Nick Foles plays well, okay, next year, then that means that he probably hit his incentives, which means he outplayed the contract. And so he's going to want to void it and get a new contract. Okay, so that's number one. Makes sense. Then the every dollar earned of incentive escalates next year's salary. That basically means that, hey, if Nick Foles, who's earning about $8 million next year, hits all his incentives, the maximum again is $6 million, he hits every incentive, then that means his salary the following year won't be $8 million, it'll be $14 million, 8 plus 6. Okay? So that is the contract. And again, looking at the contract now, doesn't seem so bad, does it? Okay, a 4th round pick doesn't seem so bad. Okay, and so I just wanted to point that out here because my question is going to make a lot more sense here for you guys with the Bears quarterback situation. And now getting back to that question itself of, is Nick Foles a lock to be the Bears starter? The reason I'm bringing this up is because I have noticed a lot of people that are plugged into the Bears are really just putting the pitchfork in the sand and just making the proclamation. Like, they're super confident. Brad Biggs, I believe he's reported for the Tribune for the Bears, one of the most plugged in people with the Chicago Bears. He said in his Q&A newsletter basically that he believes that the Bears traded for Nick Foles, gave up a 4th round pick, are willing to pay the salary for a reason. It's not to compete. It is to be the starting quarterback. And then Over the Cap, another great website, Brad over there, he basically said, he's a writer, that he believes that Nick Foles will be the starting quarterback. He would be shocked if Nick Foles is not the starting quarterback, okay? And there are still some guys out there, national guys, that still believe Mitchell Trubisky, is still in the insider lead, if you will, for the job. Like Peter King said, Trubisky's got the inside track for the starting job position. But even when the trade was made, I remember Field Yates tweeted that the Bears have their new starting quarterback. And so to me, again, when the trade happened, I was a fan of it. I liked it. I wanted Nick Foles. I wanted somebody that we could bring in here. And if Mitchell Trubisky does not, play well, we can plug him in. You couldn't do that with Chase. We know Chase Daniel was not a viable starting quarterback. Nick Foles, he's won a Super Bowl MVP. He's had a season where he's thrown 27 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. He's had a game in which he threw for 7 touchdown passes. We know Nick Foles can play. There's no doubt about it. But there's always a but here. This was all under the assumption that Mitchell Trubisky messes up and does not play well. Okay? This wasn't, we traded for Nick Foles and he's the starting quarterback and Mitch, you're the backup. So my thing is this, okay? I don't care who's the starting quarterback as long as the better player is the starting quarterback, okay? I want the Bears to win. I don't care who puts them in a better position. I just want the guy who does it, okay? And if this means that Nick Foles needs to be the starter, so be it. That's fine. If that's what it takes for us to hold the Lombardi Trophy, I'll take it. And think about it, man. If Nick Foles wins a Super Bowl for the Bears after he did that with the Eagles, I mean, talk about one of the craziest careers in NFL history. But point being, I digress. Okay, point being is it really his job already? Like, I thought we were going to have a competition. And if we are going to have a competition, is this going to be essentially a fake competition? Like, are they going to just make it seem like Mitch has a chance when it really, they've already made up their minds, Ryan Pace and Matt Nagy, that Nick Foles is a starting quarterback? Now, look, I just praised Nick Foles talking about what he's done in his career. In the same boat, Nick Foles is the same guy who hasn't started more than, I believe, 5 games since like the last 5 years. Same guy who the Eagles, after he won them the Super Bowl, let him go. The same guy that the Jaguars couldn't wait to trade after 1 year and hand it over to a rookie in Gardner Minshew. So again, take everything with a grain of salt here. Yes, we all know Nick Foles has crazy accomplishments, but at the same time, we know that Nick Foles has also had crazy failures here as well. So to my point here, all I'm saying is this. I just want a fair competition. Okay, and that's it. My stance had been that you go ahead into training camp and whoever wins the job, he's a starter. Got it, okay? I've always held the belief that, look, Mitchell Trubisky still being younger, I do believe he still has more potential. He still obviously would be a better long-term option for the Bears just because of the age factor. But again, if Nick Foles is just a flat-out better quarterback and outplays him in training camp and wins the job, I have no issues. But I just want it to be a fair competition, okay? Because, again, if that's not the case, I mean, at this point, and I made a video about this too, about is Mitchell Trubisky on the trading block, or you might as well trade him at this point and try to get something from him if you're just not giving him a shot. I mean, what's going on here, really? So, again, we won't really find out, obviously, until training camp, but it's just funny to me, very interesting to me, that a lot of these plugged-in guys to the Bears, a lot of these reporters, a lot of these analysts are all in, and they are saying it with their chest that Nick Foles is the starting quarterback, which tells me maybe they know something we don't. Maybe they know something we don't, that the Bears are fed up with Mitchell Trubisky, and they internally know that Nick Foles is the guy. We've got a, all-world defense, arguably the best defense in the NFL. Let's not screw it up and waste another year. Let's just put Nick Foles in here and give it a go. But again, I just want to say, once you move forward with Nick Foles, I mean, this is the end of Mitchell Trubisky. There is no way, obviously, if Nick Foles is the starting quarterback, that Mitchell Trubisky would have a career in Chicago. Even if he holds the clipboard all year long, this is Marcus Mariota part 2, where, you know, that's it. At the end of the year, he's gone. Again, I want whoever is the better starting quarterback. I just want a fair competition in training camp. That's it. That's all I've ever said. That's all I ever wanted. So to me, like I said, just something I thought that I would share with you guys because I just found it very interesting. So let me know what you guys think. Have you guys seen the same things I'm seeing here with these Bears insiders all saying that Nick Foles is essentially a lock to be the Bears starting quarterback? I mean, I just want a fair competition. If Nick Foles wins it, more power to him. No issues with it, but just please, let's have a fair competition here because, again, people forget. 2018, Mitchell Trubisky, yeah, he has his flaws, but 12-4 record with the Bears, a Pro Bowl, 24 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, three or four rushing touchdowns, third highest QBR in the NFL that year. I'm just saying, you know, so it's not like he's just been bottom of the barrel the entire 3 seasons. Yeah, last year was awful, but 2018, he showed you some flashes here, similar to Nick Foles. A lot of ups and downs here. So again, may the best man win the job. That's all I want. But let's see what happens. So there you have it, folks. Let me know if you agree or disagree with me. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Please make sure to subscribe as always. Thanks for watching.